Hey guys, Carla here. Welcome to Inception. Today I wanted to talk to you about emotional intelligence. And the audio quality will probably be much better, by the way, because I decided to stop being lazy and actually go into the studio. Usually I just record my podcast on my phone, but I actually went into the studio today, so yay me. So it should sound nice for you. So I wanted to talk about emotional intelligence, even though there has already been a great deal of research on this subject. A lot of people have done podcasts on it. There's a lot of information on the web, and there have been a lot of books written about it. But I find this subject to be fascinating, and I just wanted to give you some insight on emotional intelligence with my own little twist on it. You know me, I like talking about things from my weird perspective. That's what makes me unique. Thank you very much. So what is emotional intelligence? Well, basically what it is, it's the ability to understand why you think and act the way you do so that you can best choose how you want to think and act in the moment. You can better understand people. You understand what motivates them, how to work cooperatively with them, how to work under stress, how to inspire other people to reach their greatest potential. Now, there's a wonderful infographic on outsmartyourbrain.com, and it specifically talks about emotional intelligence at work. Now, I'm not a HR expert. There was a time where I wanted to go into HR at my job, but I don't want to do that anymore. But when I was first thinking about going into HR, I would look up information on emotional intelligence at work. And it says over 1 in 3 hiring managers reported increased emphasis on emotional intelligence in their hiring and promoting decisions. It says that managers especially can benefit from high emotional intelligence. It says that the reason why employers value EI over IQ is because, one, in order of importance, employers say it's because those with high EI usually, 1, remain calm under pressure, 2, resolve conflict effectively, 3, are empathetic to their colleagues and act as such. 4, lead by example. 5, may put more consideration into business decisions. So I just want to talk about those 5 points for just a minute. And you can take these and you can use these principles at work and at home. Emotional intelligence, everybody's not born with it. Some people, it comes more naturally to some than others. Other people don't have it at all. Other people can learn it, and you can become more emotionally intelligent over time if it's something that you want to devote yourself to. I think that I was born with a high EI only because I'm an empath, and because I'm so in tune with what other people are thinking, and I'm so in tune with what other people are feeling, I'm actually an imbalanced version. It's kind of like when you have someone with high IQ and they're a genius and they don't really have social skills because they don't really know how to talk to people or they don't really know how to interact with people. My whole life, I've been the opposite. I've been someone who's so in tune with other people's emotions and other people's feelings that it would cripple me and it would make me very, very insecure because I was always thinking about how I made someone feel. If someone was not smiling or they weren't talking to me very nicely, I would think it was because they did not like me. If someone was stressed out or someone was angry about something, I would automatically internalize that and think that it was because they had a problem with me. So that's an empath. That's someone who really, 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 you care so much about how people feel that you internalize that feeling and you take on those emotions as well instead of focusing on and thinking about how you feel. But right now, I want to talk about what a balanced version of an emotionally intelligent person looks like. And some of you out there are empaths, some of you are not, but it looks different on everybody. I think that a balanced empath is someone who is not a martyr, and they don't allow their self-esteem to be dependent on other people, but they are still compassionate, they are still understanding, and they're still able to communicate with others. So let's just go through these 5 points about employers and why employers value emotional intelligence over IQ. 1, you usually remain calm under pressure. Why do people with emotional intelligence remain calm under pressure? Because having an emotional IQ allows you to step back and see things from all perspectives. So, for example, with me in customer service, when I come into a highly stressful situation, let's say I get a line of customers waiting here and then a line of customers waiting over there as well. I, as an emotionally intelligent person, I can gauge the situation and I can figure out how to make everybody in the situation comfortable. I know how to make the customer comfortable by acknowledging them. I know how to make my coworkers comfortable by acknowledging that they are doing a good job and that we can handle it. If you're someone who is a balanced empath, which is another term that I like to use as well, if you are a balanced empath, you can handle pressure well because you know that at the end of the day, you're in control of yourself. Therefore, you're in control of the environment. Everything doesn't have to be perfect because it's all just a game anyway, right? I'll have a podcast about that. But everything does not have to be perfect as long as you're confident in yourself and you're doing your best to make everyone comfortable and have everyone's best interest at heart. Let's go on to number 2. They resolve conflict effectively. So to resolve conflict effectively, that honestly boils down to communication. And communication is not effective if it does not resolve the problem or the situation at hand. In order to resolve a conflict effectively, you not only have to communicate your point of view, but you have to understand the other person's point of view. And that's where those who are emotionally intelligent strive more than those who are not. The word I meant to use was thrive. Sorry, tongue twister, guys. Thrive more so than those who are not. An emotionally intelligent person will understand that in order to, if I need to criticize someone or if I need to provide feedback to someone, I'm providing feedback based on something that either I've done before, so because everyone has made a mistake, either I've made this mistake or I'm going to make this mistake, or I would make this mistake if I were in this situation. So an emotionally intelligent person, once again, when we're talking about perspective and the ability to see different perspectives, the emotionally intelligent person can see that perspective and they can communicate accordingly. They're like, hey, I totally understand why you did that, but next time make sure you don't. Or, hey, be careful next time you do this, but that's okay. You were doing the right thing by doing this, but just be careful when you do that. That's the way that someone communicates when they have to make when it's an uncomfortable conversation. Anytime I have to have an uncomfortable conversation with someone, especially if it's not that serious, I mean, if it's deep, but it's not that serious, I always make light of the situation. I always make a joke about it. Something happened like that today. I said to a coworker, I was like, did you just do that? Oh, how dare you? And she was like, what you mean? I'm like, we not allowed to do that, girl. Like, just make light of a situation. Be funny about it and let it go. When you're on the other end, when you're on the receiving end of criticism, this requires way more compassion and understanding as well. And I have a podcast about criticism. I have to re-record it because the audio is so bad. but I'll probably just re-record it after this. But I have a podcast about how to receive criticism and feedback. And what you're doing when someone criticizes you, first of all, you need to understand, like I just said, they're criticizing a behavior that they've done before, whether they admit it or not, or that they've been tempted to do. And second of all, they're making you better. They're making you as a better worker, a better person, whatever it is that they're criticizing you about. Sometimes people have to criticize you or give you feedback about things that are not work related. So you're keeping these things in mind. You're also keeping in mind that you can diffuse a situation in the way that you respond. Even if someone tells you something the most nasty way, the way that you respond is what determines whether or not it's going to escalate into an argument, or if it's going to just be, oh, okay, yeah, you're right, or, oh, okay, I didn't know, womp womp. That's usually my go-to, is if someone calls me out on something at work that I didn't know, I will say that. Be like, I didn't even know that though. And I'd say it in my funny, hilarious way of saying things, because I'm just that funny and I make people laugh, and I never make the same mistake twice, because I learn from my mistake, because I'll take it in. It's hard not to get defensive, especially when somebody is criticizing you in a nasty way. But what I realize is, when someone's criticizing me in a nasty way, it's because that's how they were criticized. Someone spoke to them that way at some point in time in their lives, and they're just showing me. See, the way that someone talks to you is the way that they've been spoken to, and they're showing you how hurt they are, and they're showing you how rejected they've been made to feel in their life. And so you just respond with compassion. You listen, you smile, and you say, thank you. Didn't know that. You're right. Thanks for telling me. Okay. Womp womp. Sometimes when I make a mistake that I knew I was wrong for making and I get called out on it, I just do a face palm, because it's like, if you think I'm an idiot anyway, then I'm just going to be like, I'm an idiot, even though I know I'm not. But sometimes it's just okay to take low with people so that things don't escalate. Let's move on. Number 3, these people are empathetic to their colleagues and act as such. I don't really have to explain that too much, do I? Empathy is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes. It's also the ability to get to know someone. And I will do a podcast about how to get to know someone in a way that doesn't make them uncomfortable. I'm really good, because I'm an introvert, I'm really good at getting to know introverts, because I know how introverts are. They don't want you running up to them and all in their face, but they do want to be known. And there's a little bit of an art to that, to getting to know a shy person or a quiet person. There's a little bit of an art to that. But being empathetic is really about getting to know people. And when you know somebody and you know kind of what's going on in their lives and kind of how they think and what makes them tick, that allows you to communicate with them, whether it's small talk or not. But it allows you to communicate in a way that motivates them. And especially if you're in a leadership position or a managerial position at work, and you have to get people to get things done, and you have to motivate people to get things done, the empathy and the rapport that you have with your coworkers is what's going to cause them to want to work harder for you and get more done for you without resenting you. Now, don't get me wrong. Gossip is inevitable. Everybody's going to talk about you behind your back, no matter what you do, no matter how nice you are, or no matter how good you are at your job. However, when you have empathy and you've established a rapport with people, they won't talk about you to your face, first of all. And second of all, they'll get done what you need them to get done. So that's a very good skill to have at work. Number 4, it says that they lead by example. Leading by example is a sign of humility. I think that leading by example and doing the right thing instead of do what I say, not what I do, is a sign of empathy and compassion as well. Because you know deep down inside in your heart that it's not fair for you to ask people to do something that you yourself are not doing or you yourself are not willing to do. And that also goes back to